Hello, friends. This is Dan. You are in my garage because this is a garage painting kind of day. I hope to do 15 or 20 abstract paintings today, 20 over the next couple of days. And listen, all of these paintings are going to be for sale on my Facebook page. So to buy one, you go to Facebook/Dan the Art Man. Got it? Now, let me show you a little bit about what I'm doing, give you a quick tour here. Well, let me say this first. I am a self-proclaimed card-carrying abstract painting snob. I hope that's not really true. What I mean by that is I believe there's such a thing as good abstracts and bad abstracts. And tragically, we all see a whole lot of the latter. And the reason is because too many people don't know what a real good abstract painting is. And I have several lists right here on display. This one is called Categories of Abstract, or when we say abstract, what most of us actually mean is non-objective. That is to say, it's not a picture of an object. There are categories: material-oriented, movement-oriented, process-oriented, design-oriented, image-oriented, chance-oriented. That's 6 different categories. And if you were to ask me, so which category is the best? The answer is all 6. The best abstract paintings employ most of those characteristics. So that page is right there in front of me to help keep me honest. Here's a list of, if I can get my stuff out of the way, out-of-the-box ideas to try with abstract painting. There's a list of about 60 or 70 different tricks. Well, I've been using that list for the last couple of hours as I've been getting set up. And I've just gone ahead and put a whole bunch of my tricks right here on the table in front and behind me. Various textures, various things for masking, masking tape, masking dots, many things for making circles, masking fluids, scrapers of all different shapes and sizes, oil pastels for making colored marks, different kinds of paint, and different kinds of ink, and a tray for mixing them in. Over here, again, more different kinds of paint, which I won't even describe, metallic colored paints, translucent, transparent, and opaque paints, brushes, bucket of water, and my easel, especially designed for doing a lot of abstract paintings really quickly. Let me see, one more page I want to show you, and that is this one right here. This is Edgar Payne, Basic Composition Design Stems by Edgar Payne, interpreted by Dan Nelson. Those are 13 design ideas. So when I start doing abstract paintings, I'm not going to just start painting, out of my head, like, oh, I wonder what this will look like. That's usually a good way to do bad paintings. Let me make sure you guys are pointed at the right thing. I want you looking over my shoulder. There we go. And I'm going to start, I believe, right now. Oh, one more explanation. This is Gator board. And instead of going out and buying a whole bunch of new canvases, I decided to use the backside of abstract paintings that I did last year that didn't sell. So if you buy a painting from me this year, you're actually going to get 2 paintings for the price of one. Side A and side B. I throw in side B completely free of charge. And so if you put it in a frame, you can have one painting up for half the year and another painting up for springtime or Valentine's Day or something. So everybody gets 2 paintings this time around. And the bidding will start at $100, which is ridiculous for a Dan Nelson painting. And I'm going to do some of them vertical and some of them horizontal. I'm going to go ahead and get started right now. Before I get started, get my hands wet so that paint will come off them a little bit easier. And I will tell you that I already have some ideas in my mind today about the kind of thing that I want to do for my painting. And this is part of it. Several ideas. Not just one, several ideas. And let me add some yellow to that. one of the ideas that I have this time around, because I don't want to do paintings that are similar to what I did last year. Some of you, if you've been following me for a while, you may remember when I did a number of abstract paintings last year. Okay, time for a rag now. So I'm doing a different kind of thing. And very similar to what I did last year, I will probably be doing each of these paintings in phases or in stages. Up here, I think I want to mix this yellow and this red together. Get a kind of orange, perhaps. Spatter. Ooh, nice spatter. Thank you very much. You're welcome. And then on top of that, some white stuff. Actually, that's off-white. That's warm white, which I like as well. Again, I'll blend it in up here. Let me talk a little bit about what's going on in my mind while I do stuff like this. Here's another scratching tool that I made some time ago. I'll rinse that off so it's available for other colors. I started to say earlier, I am a abstract painting snob, which means I believe there's such a thing as really good abstract paintings and not so good abstract paintings. And way too many people don't know the difference. They think there are no rules for abstract painting, when in fact, in my opinion, abstract painting is nothing but rules. It's nothing but the abstract rules of composition executed without having to worry about rendering or drawing a thing. Does that make sense? I'm sure it does. So I'm thinking about a whole lot of the rules of composition. Time for a skinny brush. Time for a skinny brush. Make that 2 skinny brushes. Paint better with 2 hands than 1. I like all of this, except I'm not crazy about what's going on right there, where I did that scratch. I like some of it, but it's too much of a good thing, quote unquote, which makes it a bad thing. Okay, and I have here a can of spray gesso. This is all acrylics, of course. I say of course, because I may only be talking to those of you who know art. This is so clearly not the kind of thing you would do with oils. So a spray gesso, this is essentially a spray water-based spray paint. Most spray paints, in other words, this is not an ordinary white spray paint. It's spray gesso, which means it's water-based. Not like most spray paints. Most spray paints are oil-based. I've never really tried this before, spraying gesso on top of wet paint. I've done it on top of dry paint. Never really tried it on top of wet. So I'm not positive how it's going to work. But I'm going to call this one done for right now. I'll come back and hit it again in a couple of hours after this is dry. And so don't go away. I'll be right back in just a minute. Hang on, I'm going out in the front yard. I'll lay it inside. All right, coming back. Sorry for the, that was a commercial break there. Okay. Okay, canvas number 2. And just for fun, I'm inclined to do this one vertical. Clean up some of my tools. And since I started that first one was very, very, very red, I definitely want to do this one a different color. One other, again, I want to be as instructive for you as I can be. So I've told you I've got Edgar Payne's design stems in the back of my mind. I have categories of abstract painting in my mind. I have a whole bunch of things working on me all at the same time. I'm going to use the same rag that I used a little while ago, so hopefully it'll still have maybe a tiny bit of red in it for contamination's sake. It doesn't look like lead does, but not much. So let me explain to you again. Edgar Payne was a very famous painter, worked very famous in the 1950s. And he wrote a book called Composition of Outdoor Painting, which has become a classic, almost a Bible for many serious painters in the last 70 years. And in it, he says, he has the nerve to say that all the good paintings in the world can be summed up or reduced to these 13 different design stems, he calls them. Kind of a linguistic term for those of you who've studied various languages. 13 basic compositions. And I am very much thinking about those as I do these paintings so far today. This one, for what it's worth, is what he calls a suspended steelyard. And I will post all of I wish I could post these documents on YouTube, but you can't post documents on YouTube, as far as I know. So I will post it on my Facebook page, the document from which I'm working, when I make reference to Edgar Payne. It's a fun texture. Yeah, I just realized I need a paper towel. Well, it's a little bit too far to reach. One other thing I want to mention, the other thing that's working on me, is over the last several days, I've Googled